Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a man who will forever live with a heartbreak of throwing that interception on this field a few years back in Super Bowl 49. It's Russell Wilson.
Heartbreak for Russell Wilson and his Seattle teammates. How about climbing to the top of the mountaintop for Malcolm Butler, the rookie corner who made that play? Undrafted free agent.
He's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Yeah, baby. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
He'll buy some time right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
To throw on 3rd down. Murray. Cooper's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona first. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff looking right. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league. It's told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Forced out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kyler Murray, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Time for us to introduce you to the defensive starters for Arizona. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Wilson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Now, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. 1st down, Murray. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
And that's a great example of ball skill. Right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I... Can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
On 1st down, Carson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. From 6 yards away, as they are now on the board here in the first half. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
And the drive starts with a completion left side.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Now Murray off play action. It's caught, Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
2 yards on the pickup. Check. 154. On the Seahawks 36-yard run. Say.
It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a third down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
To throw is Murray. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
From the gun, Murray. Buying time to his left. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. From 8 yards out. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. And he moved left there, Charles. Little danger play. He didn't throw toward that left side. Went over the middle. Got the 6, though.
Yeah, he seems like the type of guy that when you told him as a kid, don't touch the stove because it might be hot, he touched it anyway. And this one, he got away without getting burned.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that makes the score 14-7. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. Throwing is Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be fourth down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now the second down throw on target. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long. To throw, it's Murray. Flushed out right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now the former Sun Devil, Zane Gonzalez, for the field goal try. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of the half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman. And there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This is taken at the 3. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The face mask moves them all the way out past the 40 now for first down. Murray now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it. Early down stuff should put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Single receiver, single cut.
Now Wilson on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat, his second sack of the night.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them. He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Steps away to his left. And he's going to keep it here. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Looking to throw again on second down. Murray eluding the pressure right. Open man is Kirk, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 13.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll run. It's Sanders. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. From the gun on third down, Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Webster. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. This is Carson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Webster. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Carson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 40.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Here's Wilson. And Sanders has got it complete. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They run for it with Carson. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Now it's Wilson. It's caught, block it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. of the gun. Here's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw is Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 9-yard touchdown grab as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Well, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 33.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll run again with Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game-tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game 4th quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Webster. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back.
And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with exactly 1 minute to go in the football game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under 1 minute to go now in the football game. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation.
Switch.
They'll try to run this one in. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. And everything right now rests on the right foot of Zane Gonzalez. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And it's off the left upright. Oh, my goodness. Heartache. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Wilson. And he will find his man on the outside.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Now Wilson on second down. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Seattle.
On first down, Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Webster. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost move.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. A costly mistake here at OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure of the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. You throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
Flush to his right. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
They're not ready for this. They still playing.
On play action, it's Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. 23 yards, the final tally.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Cardinals. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.